Good morning. It's Tuesday morning. So Friday, 1, 2, 3, 4, day 5 for me, day 2 for Jordan. Still haven't heard from him. Of course, I have really minimal signal out here. Every once in a while I can get text messages from my wife, but then every once in a while it sends me what I think are text messages, but it might as well be a hash. It's just a bunch of characters. I don't know what's going on with the service out here. It's kind of weird. Anyway, once I get into Bluff, hopefully there'll be some signal or some Wi-Fi, and I can hopefully get into touch with Jordan and see how he's doing. Last night went pretty well. The tent, of course, was very comfortable because it's just a bigger volume, and I don't know, I'd say it's hard to compare because it's a different temperature and kind of situation here than when I was in the mountains, but maybe it's not quite as warm air temperature in there just because it's a little bit bigger volume and it's a thinner material. But the fact that I can like comfortably spread out my legs and sit up, like actually sit all the way up when I need to, just makes it a lot more enjoyable. Setting up the tent, I told you yesterday that took, getting it just to the point of so you can crawl in there, it's like 10 minutes. Getting it set up nice, how you want it, all that kind of jazz, maybe a half hour, maybe 40 minutes if I take it kind of slow. That's not a big deal, which is important if it's raining or it's super cold. Putting it back together though, man, that was a real frustration. So big thanks to my wife. The trip we took this summer, she would really help with setting up the tent and putting it away, stowing it, because she's smaller than me and can climb up and down, in and out of it easier than me, although obviously it's still the same amount of work. So I'd say the hardest part was just because it was before the sun came up. I was trying to get out of here right as the sun was rising. The hardest part is really getting it to compact enough to get that outer cover on. Now, I did leave my comforter and sleeping bag in there. I tried it once with the pillows, and that it was too much. Took the pillows out, and there's some other straps before you get the cover on that are on the front. There's 2 on the front, 2 on the back, and I got those down to where the full Velcro made it up. So I know that if I got all the Velcro to mate, that means I should be able to get the cover on. But I don't know if it's the cold temperature and just the cold on my hands, if it's the material shrunk a little bit. But getting this zipper to go all the way around with cold hands was really tough. And these things even this summer, these things were a pain. And I had an idea, so I want to record this. Whether you're interested or not, I don't care. But this rack is really nice. It has all these grooves where you can put whatever. And I have these eye bolts that I can put wherever. And so I'm thinking, I put eye bolts either here on the edges. Let's see, can you see that? Oh, what's going on? It's totally dark. Alright, so you can sort of, let me go around to the sunny side. Sorry, I didn't choreograph this too well. Alright, so yeah, so you can see how these things attach, and there's grooves that run all the way along underneath where the tent is. So I think I just put some more eye bolts either back here or out on the edge. At some point I'm gonna get an awning. I'm gonna put the awning on this side, so I may have to put them back in here. That'll be another trick, is figuring out how to do the tent with the awning. But one thing at a time. If I put eye bolts here, then I can just use regular ratchet straps. And then It's just a matter of cinching it down with the ratchet instead of those 2 loop Velcro things. These things, can you see that in the dark? These 2 loop Velcro things are really frustrating. I still don't know how I can make the zipper any easier. I truly think the material, even if it didn't shrink, even if the material didn't shrink, I feel like it was just colder and less pliable, less compliant. So just plain getting it over the top, let alone getting the zipper to go, was a lot of work, and that's frustrating with cold hands. And I tried it with gloves, but you really need dexterity to do that part. So if somebody has an idea on how to do the zipper part easier in cold climate, let me know. Otherwise, I got everything cleaned up. Leave no trace other than my tracks. Got a little bit of trash from last night, but I managed to keep it minimal from cooking. That's another thing, is it's really hard for me to cook a meal for one person. I'm used to either making leftovers or having other people to eat with me. So it'll be good with Jordan joining me, because I had to force myself to eat that skillet dinner. I didn't want to waste it. And I don't know if it's just being outdoors, if it's the altitude or what, but my appetite has definitely gone down, which is a good thing. I could definitely spare to lose some weight. Anyway, I didn't mean to go down that weird trail. So the plan for today, I'm gonna head out the trail that I used to get in here. I'm not gonna go around that loop, just, I don't know, I want to get over to Bluff early and maybe see if there's a breakfast place and get some hot coffee. I thought about making coffee this morning, but meh, there'll be plenty of days to do that when we're out in Bears Ears. So it's depending on how long these trails take. You know, it'll take me a little bit of time to get back out of here, and then I've got to cut through some trails through Native American reservation land. I don't anticipate any issues with that, but hopefully there's no gates or anything like that. I'm just going off of my paper map and Gaia. Otherwise, there's some other alternate routes that take a lot longer, so another reason to get out of here early. Yep, and then we're meeting in Bluff, and then from there we'll go down to Mexican Hat, check that out, and then we're gonna head north up to Natural Arches National Monument. There's supposed to be some campsites there. It's first come, first serve from what I understand, and so hopefully this time of year and on a Tuesday we'll luck out and find a spot. That's the plan for where we'll end up tonight. Oh, we're gonna do the loop around Monument Valley, of course. So this was a pretty good site. It was a little windy at times. I did have some moments where I was wondering if there was somebody outside with all the weird wind noise, but it was really just the tent doing things. It's not like anybody's out here messing with me. All right, time to get on the road. Okay, so crossed over into Utah. I'm at the Hovenweep National Monument. I guess I should have come here yesterday. I didn't realize they had a visitor center with more information. So they could have maybe explained what was up with that road and given me a little bit more history lesson on what I'm looking at. They had some signs outside. It doesn't open until 9 a.m. so I might be here by the time they open up. It's only about 8:30 right now. But I decided to walk down the trail here, and you come down to a canyon. And yeah, unfortunately, looks like they're drilling for oil back there too. That's kind of takes away from the experience. But here's that symbol again. So that probably either stands just for ruins in general or for the Hovenweep area. That's probably what it is. Now that makes a lot more sense. So yeah, there's this canyon. There's a trail that goes all the way around. I might do it. I might just go halfway. I'm not really sure. So here's a sign that kind of gives you some info. But you can see as I pan around, there's those twin towers. Rim Rock House, Eroded Boulder House, and Tower Point. And so there's part of the trail that just takes you down, I think it's down there to another vantage point, and then there's a trail that goes all the way around. And they say it could take 1 to 2 hours, so that's why I'm not really sure I'll do it. Look at this one though, that's interesting. Oh, sorry, I was pointing to the wrong thing. I'm not sure what this thing in front of me is, but that is the Eroded Boulder House. That might be my favorite. I mean, the towers are cool too, but that's cool. There's like this washout eroded part of the rock, and you can see the bricks that they set up just to turn it into a dwelling. That's cool. Alright, I'm gonna take a walk and see what else I can see. So I made it to Hovenweep Castle. I think they call it that because it's probably the biggest ruins here. And there's a little sign, or a little place up there that has a picture. And they talk about the mortar in between the rocks, that those weren't there originally, but they've done that to shore it up so that it keeps it stable. But when it was originally built, it was more just the big rocks with some little rocks, kind of like in there, I think. I'm not sure if you can see it in the shadow. Let's see. Yeah, in there. But they put some mortar in there to try to keep these from falling down. So it's taken me about 45 minutes to get here. And I can either go straight back or I can go around, and I think I'm roughly halfway around, so I didn't really plan on doing the whole thing, but whatever. Might as well do it since I'm halfway there. Living on a prayer. Okay, so I made it around the corner, not too far. And then, so they call this one Hovenweep House, probably because it's just smaller than the castle. At the corner of or edge of the end of the canyon there's this little stream that runs off down into the canyon. And they had a sign there indicating that they would dam that up to collect water. And then as I pan towards the right, east I think, there's the castle. That's pretty cool how it's overlooking the canyon there. I'm wondering, that door on the left, is that where they send people that they're not welcome to dinner? Or did they have some sort of ladder to get up to that door? It's interesting though how it just hangs on a cliff there. And then, I don't know, they didn't say anything about this square tower. Maybe that's the wine cellar. I don't know. And if I keep panning way over there, I think that's where the eroded rock is. So I'm gonna keep walking and get over to the other side of that one. Okay, I think I'm roughly halfway around the back side of the canyon, or the west side maybe. I didn't pay attention to the orientation. South side. Anyway, the sun's at my back and I'm pointed either north or northwest. So there's the castle, the square tower, and the house and the dam. And then if we pan out, or zoom out and pan to the right, there's that circular tower or round tower that I took the loop to get to. That added some to my walking time. And then so the visitor center is kind of off back that way. And then there's the wonderful oil drilling addition. And then over here, there's my favorite eroded rock house, and then there's some more towers, one on the other side. Well, I didn't see that before. It's perched up on some rocks out there. That's pretty interesting. I'll probably get closer to that as I keep going. So, when they said that you could go all the way around the canyon and you get back at the visitor center, I guess I didn't catch the part that said you have to come down all these steep steps and then go all the way down, and I'm guessing all the way down and then all the way back up the other side. Okay, I was duped. Better get my hike on. So I made it over, or down and up. There were some, steep and narrow inclines, but they had good steps the whole way, so it wasn't, I did it in flip-flops. I was a little worried when I first started down, but it's not bad. It's just, I was not planning on going. I thought I was going, like, I don't know why, I guess I just thought that was the end of the canyon. Now that I think about it, that's stupid, because this is a huge section of canyons. I guess I can keep walking. Anyway, I got my eye on you, National Park Rangers. You made me do exercise, you tricked me into it, and now I got my eye on you. Did my wife put you up to this? I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, I should probably watch where I'm going. I'm almost back to the visitor center. And we'll see how long it took me once I get there. Okay, I'm back to the parking lot. The visitor center is just not open. I guess I'll come out in the sun. It's just really bright. So maybe it's just closed for winter. I don't know. It is after 9. But I'm gonna go use their restroom. Make sure everything's set, and then I'm gonna head towards Bluff. It took me about an hour and a half to do the whole thing, so they said 1 to 2 hours, and I checked the sign. It did say a steep climb down and out. I just wasn't paying attention because I wasn't thinking I was going to do the whole thing. But then when I got there, I was like, well, I'm already halfway, and it was only 45 minutes to go halfway, so it just seemed worthwhile to do the whole thing instead of seeing the same thing twice. So, all right, time to get moving. A little bit. Well, looky there. Look who we have here.
Hello.
Welcome, friend.
Thanks. It was quite a journey, let me tell you.